His name is Boss. Hugo Boss. And yes, I'm aware he passed away. That kind of sucks. How's it going, YouTube? It's Lucas here from WD205 channel to make an interesting video. It's kind of more of a comparison video slash overview of this thing, because if you haven't already seen this video that I made on it, the Hugo Boss 959, I don't really know what company made it, but I'm sure it's something. So this thing, or the Hugo Boss one, it's just a single button where it reverses when it turns and goes forward straight. Came as Hugo Boss licensed. I believe there's actually a full-size variant, or they sold full-size variants of Hugo Boss wrapped 959s, or I don't even know if it was wrapped by that point, probably painted. So yeah, Hugo Boss 959. And no, I haven't actually tried Hugo Boss. I'm just guessing that they're probably good, because men's fragrance doesn't just sound great. So that's not necessarily about this. It's kind of more about this. This is a Radioshack 959 Porsche that came out probably around the same time as this, because if you can't tell already, they're the same cars. So this thing is, I believe, 16th scale, and this thing is 16th scale. This thing's two-wheel drive, this thing's two-wheel drive. Slick tires, same exact body. This one's red, this one's, well, was silver and also white. Anyway, so this one, as you can tell, is 49 band and also Radioshack. By this point, probably also Tandy, but that's for a different video. Yeah, 49 band has twin stick controller, so it actually is fully full function. Sadly, this one has a stripped out gearbox, but technically, since they're the same vehicle, I can use this one, but I'm not going to take apart this one because it's pristine and a Porsche thing. So I'll just have to figure out what's wrong with this one and get it fixed. So, kind of the similarities are too much to ignore. I mean, obviously these are the same companies, so I guess I'll go over them. The bodies are made by the same companies anyway. Noting pretty much everything, the size, the tire rims. I mean, aside from this one having a nut in it for traction. This one's kind of a bit dusty, but I mean, it's the same thing. Under chassis, it's also the same thing. This one's dirty because it was used. And this one, even though it doesn't turn, it has space to turn. It looks like it's designed to turn both ways, but this one is the only one that actually does. So it's the same car. And also, interestingly, the controller, for this one, the controller for this one looks like a chocolate bar and is amazing, and also very interesting with only one button. But this controller also looks like a chocolate bar and is very interesting. It's like these were also made by the same company too, aside from this one having a rubber antenna, but I'm sure that's just because they didn't want to deal with this even from the factory. So I even test fitted it. This came with a box, and I put this in here and it fit, except the controller. I don't know where the controller would go if it came in a box like this, but it probably wouldn't have fit. So yeah, I guess you can tell by now that there's the same things. I'm going to move aside from that because that's not necessarily the basis of this video. It's a fairly quick thing just to point out, because when I first... Behave yourself. So when I first saw this, well, first of all, thought it was a lot bigger, but I mean, it's a Porsche 959. It was somewhere around $10 or something on Craigslist. And it came with a Nico Zapper, which I think I made this video after that one. Probably I'll probably upload it after. So I got this. It's fairly yellowed. It's supposed to be a nice actual shade of white. This one probably has been sitting in the sun and given by the stripped out gearbox, which it doesn't sound like it has, but it certainly does when you try to drive it. Given by the stripped out gearbox, I'm sure this thing was beaten. The stickers are in fairly decent condition, luckily. As the controller still works fine. Nice feel, I guess. I mean, it's got creak, but that's about it. Stamped with, has a sticker of what is for. So, full function compared to the other one, that wasn't. Now this one, I don't believe has lights. As I can see, this one doesn't have little lights, and I think I haven't actually used this one as a 959 Hugo Boss. I haven't used the Hugo Boss one in a while, but I think that one has lights. So whoever made this is definitely slacking with this one. Other than the fact of making it fully function and whatever else. So, yeah, being two-wheel drive, single speed, fully function, it's 16th scale. Gearbox is stripped out. I don't really know if that's a common problem or not. I haven't really found much other on this than just this. I'm sure Radioshack probably thought it was cool and decided to partner with whatever brand and, ship it out and whatever. The gray one, I think, is a 27 band, again with the same controller, just 27 and probably gray. Which looks, I'd say the gray probably looks a bit better, especially since it was probably actually a color that came on the 959s, but that's whatever. Other than that, that's about all I have to talk about with this vehicle. It takes quite a bit of batteries for what it is, and that's a 9-volt and 4 AA's. That's kind of a weird thing, but yeah, otherwise this just takes a 9-volt, I think. So just kind of wanted to share that, to show this thing off a little bit, show some of the features and just overview it, and also show that it's very similar to the Porsche 959 Hugo Boss. I don't know why I keep saying Porsche. Obviously they're both Porsches, but one is a Hugo Boss, the other one's a Radioshack. And I can't imagine that Hugo Boss themselves would probably manufacture something like this. I don't really know why they would. Haven't even really seen what they've been up to recently. I'm sure now that I've talked about it, my phone's going to be like, oh hey, Hugo Boss stuff. Whatever. Interestingly, on Forza 4, I have a livery of the Hugo Boss one. Now I just need to make a livery of this so that I can have both. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this. It doesn't really have suspension or anything. It's just kind of basically a model with a chassis underneath it. So, Lucas out. Bye, YouTube.